Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Rudy and thank you so much for being here. Do I have something in my teeth? It's been a day, okay? I have been filming this video without talking now for like at least an hour. I actually want your opinion on this as a subscriber, which if you're not subscribed, like, come on girl. Or boy. Everybody come. Usually when I do brand review videos or full faces, I do the makeup with you on camera while I'm talking and then we talk about it. I have recently been filming the makeup part separate and then doing the voiceover like this so that I have better control of my thoughts. Better pizza, Papa John's. You know what I'm trying to say? So you guys tell me by the end of this video if you prefer it one way or the other. Just curious, I'll do whatever you say. I'll do whatever you say. Have I even said what today's video is? No. Today, we are covering a full face and brand review of Glossier. I say air quotes because I typically don't really dive too deep into these brands' backstories. I moreover just give like an overview of how I feel about the brand personally because this is gonna go ahead and be my channel. If you're unaware, Glossier is like the original millennial pink, clean girl, that girl brand. And they have gone through quite a journey over the past 10 years of how they are seen by people, because at the beginning of their career and the beginning of their creation, they were known as the no makeup brand, and honestly they were one of the only mainstream brands that was doing it at the time. During the time of the full beat, the 2016, you know, baking powder, the whole thing, they were still very much stuck to the clean girl light makeup aesthetic. And I remember back in even 2018 trying to find similar products and really not being able to find much outside of what Glossier had been doing. And over time, more and more brands started to come around and create products in that vein. Some of my favorite brands, you know, Kosas, Tower 28, Summer Fridays, Ilia, all of these are examples of brands that have decided to do something similar to Glossier and in either a better way or a different way. We are going to go over quite a few products in this video, ranging from base products all the way to their perfume. I don't have every single thing with me here today because they actually do make quite a bit of different products because they've been around for so long, but we will be covering everything that's on my face today plus a few extras, and anything that I have in multiple shades I will also insert a swatch with every shade that I have. The catalyst for this video is because Glossier is actually going to be in Sephora starting in 2023. Not to get into it too much, but over the last couple years, they've really had a dip in sales because of multiple things. One, because again, a lot of these other brands started doing it and some doing it better. I just realized I left out Merit Beauty in that list, another brand that's come out since they've started and are doing things a little bit better than Glossier or differently than Glossier. But also they had a pretty big scandal involving the way people were treating others in their actual storefronts, especially dealing with racism, which is something I do not, I just won't be a part of it, which is a reason that I really haven't talked about Glossier too much in the past. However, they do have a brand new CEO and they are trying or attempting to change things up for the brand. They are now going to be in Sephora stores. They've changed their leadership. So I do have a lot of people who have questions about the brand and about the products, so we are going to talk about them. But just know, if you're interested in learning more about their backstory, there are a lot of articles that I can link down below for you guys to read up on it. So again, if you are not subscribed, I would absolutely love you to subscribe. We talk about brand reviews. We also do skincare. We do a lot of vlogs. We talk about fashion and hauls, and I would absolutely love to have you join. Okay, so I have 3 bags here of their different products that I have broken out into categories. So one is going to be our coverage and our base products. Then we're gonna talk about eyes and eyebrows, and then we'll go into lips. If you order from Glossier, you get their products in one of these containers that's like a little shipping bag, and they are very cute and easy to travel with. You can say that you don't want one, but they're cute and I would recommend it. I also wanted to say that Glossier does have a pretty large skincare section on their website. I have not dabbled too much into their skincare, however, I know they do have some really good hits and some misses, but I do have 1 to 2 skincare products that I wanted to mention today. I'm just now realizing this video is going to be so long. The first thing I wanted to talk about is the Glossier After Balm. This is the first thing that I used on my face while doing this makeup. This is one of their newer products, and this is a moisture barrier recovery cream. This is a super thick cream, and I really like it. It's beautiful. It's completely fragrance free. Again, it's incredibly thick and moisturizing, and I think would work on dry skin so well in the winter as a moisturizer. But the way that I used it today in my makeup was by pinpointing it on certain areas of my face that tend to get very dry underneath my makeup, which is especially around my mouth. This is a great multi-purpose product, and I do have a few friends who have used multiple of these. I really, really like this, and I do think I will be using this in the winter. It is literally like 90 degrees today, so I'm not using it just yet, but it is very nice. Another product that I didn't use today, but is in a similar vein of something that's probably better used in the winter. Better used in the winter is the Glossier Future Dew. This is an oil serum hybrid. So this is essentially a very oily primer, or that's what they consider it to be. They say to apply 2 pumps all over the face as the last step in your skincare routine, or add more to the high points of your face for extra glow. This is very oily, okay? I don't recommend this for everyone. I think there is a very few group of people who would really, really like this. If it's winter time, I think this could work very well on dry skin, either on top of your makeup, or if you're doing a no makeup day and you wanted to apply it around your eyes where you would typically highlight. It's got a beautiful like skin tone undertone, just like the glass bottle here, but it is very, very oily, and it's not something that I would recommend to just anyone. If you're curious about this like I was, I would definitely get a sample from their website before purchasing the full bottle, because again, this is a very sort of sticky, thick oil. And again, not wearing that today. So let's jump into our first complexion product, which is the Glossier Perfecting Skin Tint. I was really excited about this. As you guys know that I love skin tints. It's like a hobby of mine, collecting skin tints and trying different skin tints. And I can tell you that this one is definitely not in my top 5. I think that it is pretty, but as you can see from the video, this has barely any coverage. I mean, almost none. And for something that is as expensive as this is, and the fact that it has a shade range, I want a little bit of coverage out of it. And not to continuously compare products to my Summer Friday skin tint, but I'm gonna compare my products. This is my current favorite skin tint from Summer Fridays, and although it is a lighter coverage, it still covers the redness on your face while giving you a beautiful sort of glow to your skin. This gives you a glow with little to no coverage. As you saw, I tried to apply it with a brush. It did not work. Don't recommend that. It sucked up completely into the brush. So I used my hands, which I think is probably recommended. If you want literally no coverage or very, very light coverage, I would try this out, but there are a lot of better ones out there. Again, the Summer Fridays, another alternative that has lighter coverage is the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Serum Foundation. Super beautiful. I just think this might be a little too nothing for me. I like the finish, but the coverage, it just wasn't there. Now, what I do like instead, and that I would recommend trying over the skin tint, is the Stretch Concealer. I have mine in shade G10, and by the way, my skin tint shade is in G9. This is really nice. This is a thicker pot style concealer, and you could apply this with your fingers, with a brush, with a sponge. Because it is inside of this pot, it's gonna give you more movability and more product to work with than the skin tint. And I would actually recommend you using this all over the face instead of using the skin tint. I find that it gives you a similar finish. This is maybe a tad bit more dewy than the skin tint, but it's gonna give you more coverage, and it's gonna give you a better look overall than having to slap on a ton of this skin tint and try and cover up your redness with the concealer, which is what I did today and worked. But why do that when I could probably do the same thing with just one product? A lot of people recommended me trying this after the Hydro Sealer left the Sephora website, and that is originally when I picked it up. I realized I haven't talked about it since I picked it up because I've just been slowly testing it and sort of waiting for this video, but I do like it a lot. I will say, because it is so dewy, you are gonna get creasing under the eyes. You can probably see here, and if that's something that bothers you, I would make sure to set it with a powder. I do not have the powder from Glossier, so at this moment I have literally not a stitch of powder on my face, and that's just something to take note. They do have a powder though. So next I went in with one of their newer products in their line, and this is the Solar Paint. This is a bronzer. I have mixed feelings about this product. I do like it, but I think there are better out there or easier out there. I've also heard a lot of people say that the shade range itself is very strange. I have the color Ray, and it works fine on my skin tone, which is light medium. I do like the packaging, and I like that it is a doe foot applicator, but Glossier tends to focus on liquid products rather than cream or pressed products, which I prefer in terms of cream or more natural looking products. I prefer a cream, like a pot, over a liquid product. So I was a little bit nervous about this, but it's actually got quite a thick consistency, so it doesn't just move all around the face, but it is much thinner than a cream bronzer, and because of that, I find that it might be more difficult for beginners. As you can see, it is actually quite pigmented. A lot of Glossier's products don't have a ton of pigment to them, so I was a little bit surprised to see that, but actually very happy because that means this product will last a while. I would say this has a natural finish to it. It's not necessarily shimmery, but it's also not matte, which is kind of my favorite range when it comes to a bronzer. I will definitely use this again, and I could see this being useful on the go. However, I do definitely have other bronzers that are natural looking in my collection that I prefer. The Makeup by Mario bronzer, the Merit bronzer, they give more of a natural bronzed look, and they're a little bit easier to blend in. But I do like this. Do I love it? No. I don't love it, but I do like it. And I have the same sentiment about the next product we're going to talk about, which is their very popular Cloud Paint. I'm wearing the Cloud Paint today in the shade Storm. And again, there's something about a straight up liquid product that just turns me off from wanting to use it. I think it's because it's kind of hard to figure out the best way to apply these products if you have other makeup on. Because it is 100% liquid, you could try and apply it with your fingers, a brush, a sponge, but to me, it never fully looks blended. It's almost as if it continues to pick up while you're applying. So I did use a sponge today to apply this, and I felt that that worked best, and a very little amount of this goes a long way, which again is surprising considering a lot of their other products are so little pigmented, have such little pigment. I will say I think the colors that they've created are interesting and a little strange. Very vibrant reds, very strange sort of cantaloupe oranges, and then two very, very beautiful, more browny nude tones. My favorite is in the shade Storm. It's got this like nice mauve-y undertone, but again, this is not something that I gravitate towards, and I personally prefer a cream-based product. Everyone is different in that way, and if you love these, I totally can see why. I could see it being very no makeup day friendly if you have on even no base. But on top of my foundation and concealer, I feel that it just ended up being a little bit patchy, and also it can get away from you very quickly. If you decide to blend too far down or out, you're gonna get out of control because it is liquid and it's not as easy to pinpoint in one area. Again, that is just my prerogative and my preferences, but it is something that I wanted to mention as I know a lot of people love these, but again, not as easy for beginners. I would say beyond the concealer, the second product in their coverage or complexion line that I have in front of me here that I've really, really liked is the Halo Scope, which is their stick highlighter. I would prefer to use the Halo Scope over the Future Dew if we were highlighting the face, because as you know, I go for stick highlighters like this. They are sort of my favorite in that forum. I also really like this because it has a sheer non-tinted balm in the center that's gonna sheer out the color while still giving you really nice color payoff with this product. As you can see from my swatch, it is a very vibrant gold on the skin, and it's absolutely beautiful. There's no shimmer or glitter in it, which is something that I try to avoid in highlighters. I love the ease of use, but I do recommend putting it on a brush and then putting it on your face as to not disturb the makeup underneath, because it is a stick and the rest of the makeup we've put on is a liquid. So you just want to be careful when you're mixing those two different style of product, or try and make sure the rest of your base has dried down before applying this, but it's much easier to apply directly onto your fingers or onto a brush than going straight in. But I really do like this, and I believe they have 3 shades of it. I would consider this like a more pigmented version of the Merit Highlighting Balm. Very, very pretty, and I do like this a lot. So again, rounding out our complexion products, I do have to say my 2 favorites are the Generation G. So rounding out our complexion review here, I would definitely say the concealer and the Halo Scope are my 2 favorites in this category, with the Solar Paint and the Cloud Dew being kind of in the middle here, and then the Perfecting Skin Tint being at the bottom of this list. I would love to hear from you guys on the complexion products that you've tried from Glossier, and then let's get into eyes. So I don't feel like I have a full grasp on everything that Glossier has done, including eyeshadows and eye products, because I've only tried very few of their actual eye shadows. In fact, I think this might be the only eye product that I've tried from them, which is the Lid Star. I want to say I have every shade, but I might not. Again, I will include swatches of the ones that I do have, and I am wearing the shade Lily today on my eyes, which looks purple in the tube, and is pretty much non-existent on the eye. So let's talk about it. It's hard to say with Glossier, again, what's gonna come out pigmented and what's gonna come out sheer because you really don't know until you try it. They're not very consistent in that way. So some of these lid stars are more pigmented and look a little bit thicker and more opaque on the eyes, and others don't. So those lighter shades that are at the beginning of the swatches, they don't look super great, where some of these more darker shades, like the shade Bun and that green shade in Herb, they really show up a little bit stronger on the eyes. These do quote unquote dry down in some way, but not as much as other liquid eyeshadows would, like the Ilia liquid eyeshadows, which turn down into a fully matte powder eyeshadow. These are not gonna do that, which make it a little bit harder to layer them. But if you are someone who just wants a wash of a sort of glittery, shimmery look on the eye, I think you might really like these. They come with a doe foot applicator, which makes them easy to apply directly to the eye and to blend out with a brush. I don't really know that I would say I recommend them to everyone, but they are user-friendly in the sense that you can't mess up too much because they are so lightly pigmented. They have a ton of other eyeshadow options, including quads of powder eyeshadows, but I'm pretty sure from reviews that they are not the best. Seems like they're very similar colors in the actual palettes and that they don't swatch or look very good on the eyes. That is only reviews that I've seen. So if you have another review, I'd love to hear, or if you've tried it and have, you know, an opinion on that, or if you think I should pick them up, let me know. But I would definitely not say that Glossier is known for their eyeshadows. I would say they're much more known for their base products and their complexion products. But a product that they are pretty well known for that I surprisingly was not a fan of is their Lash Slick mascara. I like to consider myself to be the queen of the tubing mascaras. Me and some of my online friends, we have tried pretty much every tubing mascara that exists. I have a whole tubing mascara video breakdown, and everyone had been begging me to try the Lash Slick because it is a tubing mascara, one of the first, and I really don't like it. Despite the fact that my lashes look very good, I just got a lash lift and tint recently, meaning they're always sort of fanned out and fluttery because of that. So take that with a grain of salt in the way that they look. But this formula is so dry. It's so dry that once you put it on and you go in to get more on your brush, by the time you go back to put on your second layer or just to brush out your lashes, it's already dried and hard to go through the lash. You know what I'm talking about? When you're layering a mascara, it typically stays wet for a little while so that you can really get the shape that you want. This will not let you do that because it is so dry so quickly. In fact, it's so dry that when I pull this out, when I pull it out of the tube, little flecks of product go and fly all over my desk like little dried clumps. And maybe that's me getting one that's old, but I have not opened this. I was just sent this from them recently, and this is my first or second time using this. I just think there are so many better tubing mascaras out there. Do you see what I mean? Is this a fibrous mascara? Like, I really can't tell, but the top of this thing is just covered in these little dry flakes. So again, I don't know if I got a bad one or not, but there are so many better tubing mascaras out there for much cheaper. My favorite is the LA Girl Plush Lash. Absolutely stunning and so much cheaper than this. Now, where Glossier shines in terms of their eye products are actually in the eyebrow department. These are two products that were some of my favorites for the past couple years when it came to eyebrows. One being the Brow Flick and the other being the Boy Brow. This is a very famous name of a product. The Boy Brow, it's like one of the first brow gels that came out that was really encouraging us to have larger brows and to really have them be big and fluffy and take up space on our face, because before that, a lot of the time we were just trying to make them as thin as possible. So this duo does a really good job of defining your eyebrows and making them look absolutely fluttery and beautiful while also staying in place. So I had mentioned in a previous video that I am very much about the crunchy eyebrow life. Like, I want them to look fluttery, but I want them to feel as if they are in place, and that is what this duo gives you. I have heard very few people who don't like this duo or the Boy Brow. It's absolutely beautiful. I need to get a new shade because I am in brown for these and my hair is now red, but really recommend these, especially with the Lash Flick. This is such a tiny, tiny pen. It's really going to give you beautiful hair-like strokes to fill in your eyebrows and define them in the way you want. So although I did not like the Lash Flick and I was an okay fan of the lid stars, I do really, really, really like the Boy Brow and the Lash Flick. Any of their brow products are worth trying. Okay, now we are moving on to lips and perfume. I think, I'm actually probably not right about this, but I have 3 different lip formulas here, and they make a lot of lip formulas. They once had a brand under their brand called Glossier Play, I do believe, and they had a ton of products that were more playful, and I do believe that they completely shut that line down, and they had their vinyl lip slicks, which a ton of people liked, and they don't make anymore. So I think what I have is what they have. So today we are going to talk about their original Generation G lipstick. We're going to talk about the Ultra Lip and their lip glosses. Right off the bat, I will say they have gorgeous lip products. This is an area where I feel like they do excel and make really good products. There are a few products that they make that are special to Glossier that I feel like some brands have tried to replicate and haven't done as well. And then there are some that I feel like you could get at the drugstore for a similar price. So starting with the Generation G lipstick, I am wearing the shade Like today, which is my favorite shade that they make. It's sort of like a natural berry tone, and I will say a lot of the colors that they offer do tend towards a berry tone, which I like. And then they also have a few browns and reds. This is the product that I mentioned that I think is particular to Glossier, because this is probably one of the first matte but lightweight, thin, and non-pigmented lipsticks I had ever seen. I remember hearing that it was a matte lipstick with like minimal coverage and minimal pigment, being like, what the heck is the point? And then a few years later, I was like, oh my god, I want that. Once I started to feel like I was getting into the everyday makeup look, I realized I don't want to wear a full pigmented matte lip every day, but I do want something to wear to work, and these really give you that look. Are they going to last as long as a typical lipstick? No, not really. But are they easy to apply, feel good on the lips, and look as if you're put together? Yes. I really, really like these. I think they are super unique to Glossier and something that has set them apart from other brands. I love them. That's just my personal opinion on it, and the shade Like is by far my favorite one that they make. Now, getting into the other product that I think could really be duped out and has been duped out is one of their newer formulas, and that is called the Ultra Lip. I really like the shades that they've chosen for this launch. However, this is a creamy, lightweight, pigmented lipstick that a lot of brands have recently started dropping. Those more lightweight lipsticks that have a glossy finish to them. They have them at the drugstore now. Revlon makes some, L'Oreal makes some. So I don't think that these are necessary for you to purchase from Glossier, but if you find a shade in here that you feel is unique to Glossier, then I would totally go for it, because the formula is very nice. It's hydrating, feels beautiful on the lips, it fades nicely over time, and I do like them a lot. I just think that there are more affordable options that give you the exact same look and feel, so it's really just a matter of shade preference. But again, if you have one, you will enjoy it. I just don't think it's as special to their brand as the Generation G lipsticks are. Another product from their lips that I am kind of on the fence about how I feel, if I think it's worth it or not, is their lip glosses, because they are really, really nice. And it is sometimes hard to find a good lip gloss. I know it seems like, well, everyone makes a lip gloss, and that might be true, but not everyone makes a good lip gloss, and they do. I really honestly like their gloss in the clear transparent. I like to put it on top of the Generation G lipsticks just to add a little bit of shine while still having that minimal pigment. They are non-greasy, non-sticky, but leave the lips looking really juicy and really make your lips feel as if they are nice, hydrated, and plump. I think the shades are really cute. I'm not a huge fan of glittery lips, so I don't use the gold or the holographic one very often, but I absolutely love the red and the clear shade. I think they're also really aesthetic and cute. A lot of this brand is aesthetic and cute, so if you find one that you like, I say go for it, because they're a nice little treat to have in your purse that work well over the Generation G lipsticks or other lipsticks. But again, it's not a necessity to buy a lip gloss from a high-end brand, but I do like it, and if you are making a Glossier haul, I don't see anything wrong with adding one of their glosses to your cart. Oh my god, I've been talking for 30 minutes. Okay, the last thing that I'm going to talk about today is the Glossier You Perfume. And I think this is probably the best product that Glossier makes, full stop. I kind of think that Glossier as a brand, because they've been around for as long as they have, they started to venture out into other atmospheres. They started making merch. They made a perfume. They created a skincare line. They're kind of dipping their toes into these different areas of beauty and of fashion, and Glossier You has been around for a long time, but is just now getting the hype that I think it deserves. I love the shape of the bottle. I think it is so pretty. I love that it has a thumb mark in it to make it really feel like this is your product. And the cool thing about Glossier You is that it is really made to smell different on every person. And that sounds gimmicky, but I truly believe that it's true because me, Hannah, and Erica, three of my best friends, have all worn this in the same area together and smelled completely different. I don't get compliments when I use this, but my best friend Hannah gets them every single time. Erica has been wearing this scent for years, since we've been friends. So to me, this is her signature scent. So I don't wear it too often because again, it is her scent and it reminds me of her, but it smells much more sweet on her than it does on me. And I just think that that's so cool. This has a lot of like peppery undertones to it, and I can pop up the actual notes on the screen, but people say it's good for a reason because it is very unique and just smells like a person. I really, really like it. I think they did a great job formulating a really unique scent that sets them apart from other beauty brands. It's also going viral right now on TikTok, but I would definitely have to agree. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it and I enjoy wearing it. I know this video is coming out in September 2022 and Glossier is not going to be in store until January 2023, but I wanted to give this to you now in hopes that you can figure out what it is that you might want before they drop at Sephora. I also think they'll probably drop a few more things before that happens, so I will keep, you know, my fingers on the keys, if you will. I'll be searching on Trendmood to see what comes up. Overall, I think that I look very cute. I'm looking in the mirror. I like a lot of these products together. Are they all necessary to have and one of one? No. If we are doing our top 3 of things that I think are worth picking up, I'm going to say the Glossier You, a Generation G lipstick, and the Stretch Concealer. Those are the 3 things that I would say 100% spend your money on. Also would add in the brow products. I think those are great. So those are my picks for you. Glossier You, Generation G lipsticks, the Stretch Concealer, and the brow products. Give those a shot. Let me know what you think. And if you have something else from Glossier that you think I would like and you want me to try that I didn't mention in this video, leave me a comment down below. Let's keep chatting about this and let me know what brand you want me to cover next. And I will see you guys in the next video really soon.